The submission of evidence from Prince Harry at the court here has now concluded, a little more specific, a little more substantial on the second day than on the first, when he fired a series of broadsides at the government, at the press, at the collusion as he saw it between the two. But on cross-examination, a number of very specific issues did come up, primarily two. He said in court here on Wednesday that he had found a tracking device on the car of his former girlfriend Chelsy Davy, and that was about the time they were going through a turbulence in their relationship. He suggests that this was planted to get information on that, and indeed information on some of the issues between them was published in the Mirror as also in other newspapers. The second issue was one that the judge picked out of his written 49-page submission made at the start of the submission of evidence on Tuesday, and that related to Prince Harry's account that he had found mysterious patterns on his phone, that new messages would not appear as new, and when they did, they disappeared even before he saw them. It is believed that this is a regular feature, and this is one aspect of a bugging of a telephone and of a tapping of a telephone. This therefore could be a seriously telltale sign, and the fact that the judge picked this out and brought it up and questioned him about it does indicate that the judge is prepared to look at this particular issue a little more closely. And if these two were to be substantiated on evidence, and if the judge were to accept that this was indication, if not evidence, of hacking, certainly it would give a lot of credibility to Prince Harry's substantive allegations. And there is also a further round of evidence that came up in court through cross-examination, this time of the Mirror journalist Jane Kerr, who authored 10 of the 33 reports that the court is looking at. She was asked to give evidence whether she knew about such practices. She has admitted that she contacted private investigators to get phone numbers. She said she did not inquire further who they were. She simply got the information from them. It has been Prince Harry's case that private investigators were used by the Mirror Group, and the Mirror Group now says that the information that it published did not arise from them. It arose from sources, as it says. There is a question here about the sources, and Prince Harry was asked about these, and he said that these could not have been palace sources because there were conversations that the palace was not aware of, that no one in the palace was aware of, that it was between him, between Chelsy Davy and some others, and that this was unearthed and dug out and published on the basis of hacking. There will now be a question how far Prince Harry is believed. He certainly was quite composed and quite collected through the submission of evidence, through the cross-examination. He did not prove as brittle or as flaky as many had expected him to. There were some claims that he made that were more moral or sentimental rather than legal, but there is a good deal here that is also specific and has potential for legal follow-up. This is now a question whether the judge believes the submission by Prince Harry or not, and then what further action or follow-up he orders, or whether that gets reflected in a court order.